Welcome everyone to the Aramaic word of the day, the wilderness. In Aramaic is Midbaro. I will share with you stories as a tour guide for 25 years in the land of the Bible. And I remember sitting in the desert near Jericho, watching the sunset over the Jordan Valley. The land seemed endless, dry and silent. And I thought of the generations who wandered here, the prophets, the Jewish people during exile, even in the 4th century, the pilgrims who learned that life in the wilderness was not wasted time, but the very place where God reshaped his people. To the Western mindset, a desert is a barren land to be avoided. It's scary, a symbol of emptiness and lack. But in the Middle Eastern culture, the desert is like a seminary. It's like a classroom of God, a place of encounter, purification, and transformation. The wilderness strips away distractions until you hear only the voice that matters. When you stand still, when time and space stops, your soul and your identity is released in your Creator. So today's Aramaic word is Midbaro, literally means wilderness. The roots is Dolat Beth Resh in Aramaic. It carries multiple shades of meaning, including to lead and even to speak. Midbaro, to speak. The linguistics overlap is not accidental. In the Semitic world, the desert is where God leads and where God speaks. The wilderness is not silence, but the very theater of the divine revelation. For those shaped by Greek or Western thoughts, revelation is often tied to temples, libraries, or polished sermons. But for the prophets of Israel and the early followers of Yeshua, revelation often came in the lonely, windswept valleys of the desert. This is where God speaks, where the only sound was the whisper of the Roho Kodsho, the Holy Spirit. Consider reading Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 2, where Moses reminds Israel, remember how the Lord your God led you through the wilderness, these 40 years, humbling you and testing you to prove your character. In Aramaic, the word Midbaro would have resonated deeply. It was not just the place of testing, but also the place of God's voice, the arena where Israel learned dependence and covenant faithfulness. You know, Yeshua himself chose the Midbaro, 40 days in the Judean wilderness, to confront the adversary and to affirm his identity as the beloved Son. For him, the wilderness was not an accident, but a preparation. Now think of your own journey in your life wherever you are right now. You may see seasons of dryness, silence, or waiting as wasted time. It's not. But Western cultures tell you that productivity and success are the only measures of meaning. It's not about being successful. It's not about achieving all the time. We need to stand still. Look, in God's eyes, your Midbaro, your wilderness season, your dry season is holy and sacred. These are the places where distractions are peeled away, where old idols are burned off, and where your ears learn to recognize the shepherd's voice. If you are walking through a wilderness right now, do not despise it. It's okay. The Midbaro is where God both leads and speaks. The wilderness is where God will talk to you, will have time for Him, where He forms your character so that you can carry His presence with strength, peace, and calm into the promised land of your calling. So today, embrace your Midbaro, your wilderness moments as holy ground. Do not rush or do not curse the silence. Instead, listen, because the desert is not empty. If you dig down in the desert so deep, you find wells full of water. Your heart in silence is like a desert, but you need to dig deep to find the living water because it's filled with the voice of God. He is leading you in your Midbaro and He will speak to you there. If you want to continue exploring how Aramaic words open layers of scriptures with new light and meaning, I invite you to join me in this journey of learning Aramaic. You can go to my website www.twinsbiblicalacademy.com and you can learn so much about the depth of the Middle Eastern mindset. That was the Aramaic word of the day. Thank you, and God bless your hearts.